Welcome to episode 470 of Fourth and Jawn. I am Gail Saunders here with Primo, aka Prime, aka Lucky, and Tim Kincaid in the building. Today we're talking about the divisional recap, and let me tell you something about this guy here. Look at this man's face. I have never been so happy in a game. There's been games I've been happy, Super Bowl games, but I'm just saying, in a playoff situation where it was tense in there. I'm gonna say it was tense in there as the Eagle fans were sitting there and the snow was. You could see out of one eye, and then you had to wipe the other snow off your eyelashes. It was intense in there. You could barely see. So the fact that some of these players came up with some of these big plays in big time situations, you root for that. And Saquon, man, he really just lit the stadium on fire. After that run, I felt like it was just like I thought it was locked in, but obviously it wasn't. But I thought it gave us the juice to win that game. I mean, when it comes down to the perfect win that Eagle fans are always looking for continuously, even after we get wins in divisional playoff games on Monday, some Bird fans are upset. At the end of the day, it's about getting to the next round by all means necessary, whatever it takes. Whoever's injured, it's all about getting to the next round. You might not like the stats, but we are on to the next round, and it's a good feeling. We've all talked about this moment. This is a build up for us, right? Because a lot of us on the show have been pounding the table for the Super Bowl run. We're here. This is actually it's a reality. We're here. NFC Championship is next week, and we spoke it into existence. It's at home. The fact that it's at home and it runs through Philly is everything that you should want. Brian, vibes coordinator, checking in. How are you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. But last time I remember, there is no I in team. It's a team effort. It's about the team coming together to get in that win yesterday. And everybody contributed however they needed to. And they contributed just enough to go ahead and get that W. Jalen Hurts. I mean, look, man, everybody that's out there trying to get this man to have these Tom Brady, Joe Montana stats, I mean, like, cut it out. The man's doing what he has to do to go ahead and get the wins. And I'm okay with it. Saquon Barkley, 200-plus rushing yards. The receivers, I mean, I think Dallas Goedert led the team and all the yards, 54. A.J. Brown only had like 14. Devontae only had like 21. But so what? It's all about the contribution that they ended up putting to getting that win yesterday. Defense played a hell of a game. At the end there, I was good, and just like you, I thought it was locked. But the way they came down and they started playing that prevent D, and I'm like, what the? Come on, man. Like, I was just good. I had to take the gloves off, and I started fighting the nails. Like, this is that. But, you know what I mean? Like, I kept my composure, kept the faith, and, hey, we pulled off the W. We got the playoff. Not going to lie, went back and saw some of the video of that last drive, and I love Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is a lifesaver, bro. That's all I'm going to say. Jalen Carter stood his ground. He talked the talk, and he walked the walk yesterday, man. All right? He came up key on that play, getting that sack against Matthew Stafford. The vibes, like you said, Gail, man, the vibes was crazy yesterday. I mean, from the beginning, from the jump, we were lit, man. And, going into that stadium and that snow coming down, it was like a bunch of kids in the playground, man, just having a good old time. And then, after the game, we went out to the parking lot. We celebrated, and we started acting like some kids ourselves, having snowball fights out there. And, it was fun as hell, man. But, yeah, here we are talking about Victory Monday and going to the NFC Championship game again. Back where? What I say? Back in Philly. You know what I mean? Washington, congrats. You did your thing. But now you enemy number one this week, baby. You enemy number one. Remember that. Let's go.
Man, I think I'm all you guys. I know I wasn't at the game, but I don't live in Philly. But um, I when you talk about the energy while being at a bar and being surrounded by your loved ones, your friends, your close ones, whatever you want to say, I can feel the energy through the TV. Like like when I think it was the first when Jalen took off and he scored, there was no snow, and then Saquon did his thing, and then when the snow started piling up, that's why I said, you know what though, like Jalen said, hell, sleep, snow, Eagles ready to go. And what I see from that team, man, is grit. They didn't give up. I ain't gonna lie, the safety, bro, like you talk about the flating moment, and then coming back and having a strip sack, like. And I gotta say two things, man. When it comes to stat wise, bro, like Saquon Barkley broke two legend records yesterday. Brian Westbrook's rushing record for most of the playoffs, and then Steve Van Buren, he broke that as well. Saquon, dog, thank you Giants, and Saquon, bro, his speed is ridiculous. I don't think anybody's ever talked about his speed. I didn't know he was that fast. Did y'all?
Yes. I've seen.
No.
Yeah, I seen
I'm
him
talking
run by
about. I'm talking
Yes.
about you with the Giants. Did you know he was that fast with the Giants,
I just told you I saw him do a peace sign right in my face.
bro? It's and you.
I was at that same game that he ended up doing.
Oh, but he did. Yeah. Okay,
I was
bro.
going to go. Yeah.
He was going.
No, that is it's ridiculous because they had Next Gen Sports had Jalen Verse registered at I think it was 21 miles per hour. So imagine if Saquon slowed down and was still running into the end zone. So how fast is Saquon going? It gets just nuts, man. And that bad man, Jalen Carter, man. And gotta give props to our guy Nolan Smith. Between them two, they got five. I think they got 5 sacks. And they've been the guys that's been strip sacking. Them Georgia Bulldogs, bro. They here for a long time too. And my son did this thing too. Holla at my son. You know what I mean?
You talk about Saquon. I mean, we could talk about Saquon all day. But pregame, a lot of last show, we talked about Saquon Barkley versus the LA Rams, 21st ranked run defense. The numbers that he put up are insane. And when you just talk about you talked about him breaking another record. He broke another record with yards. I think against a team in just 2 games versus the Rams. Barkley has 52 carries for 460 yards and 4 touchdowns. Runs of 78, 72, 70, and 62. He's the first person in the NFL to have 4+ 60-yard runs versus one team.
That is unreal. That's unreal.
That's called history. There's other like records that could be broken.
Right.
Saquon is consistently breaking records weekly, and again,
that's not called history though. That's called who's your daddy.
Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to him, is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. There's times when you see him, there's a look in his eye that is like, I've seen a lot of players ball out, and he's got in Philly, you could say eye of the tiger. He's got it. Like he's so locked in that it's got to be contagious. And again, like all the Jalen talk, whatever. Did anyone not see Jalen break off a 50-yard run on a QB counter? Like this is a team thing, and it goes down to like your boy, like your son, Zach Vaughn, making a tackle down by the goal line to save that touchdown run, and then if there's so many plays where everyone has to make a play in order to get these wins.
And that's what I'm saying. The whole contribution all over. You know what I mean? Like everybody played their part. And yeah, going back to Saquon, bro. I mean, like you're right. He's a beast. I mean, he's a beast behind that line. And I mean, like they just untamed that beast. Like ever since he just threw on that uniform and he's ready to go. Like, yo, it's just crazy. And then seeing him, I mean, going from 0 to however fast he was going, Tim. I mean, it was just like insane.
Right.
You know, I mean, one minute it was just like on some slow motion, the next minute, you know, he's upfield, and you like, damn, I didn't even see him get up there that fast. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, it's crazy. The first play, I mean, the first touchdown by Jalen, yo, we just got in there as that happened. Like, I'm literally just getting to my seat, and I already had something to cheer about. Like,
Nice.
this is that. Like, that's where I knew the vibe was just like already on point. But yeah, man, like the defense is playing great. They're doing their thing. I'm loving it. And you know me, man. I'm the defensive guy. You know, I love watching those guys go to work, man. And big ups to Slay, man. Like, damn, I know he has his up, his downs, but yo, I gotta give him his props yesterday. That old fuck, because he's the oldest guy on the team.
Yeah.
He played his ass off.
Yeah.
He played his ass off, man. Big ups to that, man.
He played possessed. I ain't gonna do in front. He played possessed yesterday. He was all over Puka and Coop. I mean, Puka did have a nice catch, but and also that I know people were kind of like poo-pooing on Isaiah Rodgers, but for somebody to be, you know, sitting on the bench and then come into a cold weather game like that, and it's crazy because he's there to make the play. It's just he gets out muscled. I don't know if he's a little light in the ass. I don't know what's up, but he plays great though. Yeah. He can make great plays. He's always there though. He's always there.
And in camp when we saw him at the NovaCare, he made this pick where he showed off those jets, man. Like he really does have those wheels. But just talking about Jalen Carter, I need to. There's that saying that always be closing. And Jalen Carter is a menace. We talked about his menacing abilities for when he was drafted. Yes, we were uncontrollably. There's a video on YouTube of us, me, Ev, I think it was Jay Gleck, and Mal Davis, being so excited about Jalen Carter and what we thought he was then, but to see him come into his own, we're talking about the greats, and and a lot of old heads will always be, he's not as good as this, or he's not as good as. I've seen a lot of Eagles players, and Jalen Carter, I mean, he is exactly every bit of what we hope for. I mean, on our last show, we really kind of talked about it, and this is what we were talking about. If I have the right video here. But we're talking about Jalen Carter, and the guy that we wanted to pick out was Bo Limmer. Bo Limmer was the guy, was the pigeon. Shout out to Hollis Thomas in the pigeon reference. But Bo Limmer was the guy that we were in the last couple plays. He ran Limmer over on the very last play. He ran him over again, and he's just been the fumble recover. I mean the knocking the fumble out. I was in the stands and I was talking to an Eagles fan. I said, Kyron Williams. I said, Kyron Williams. He got 5 fumbles on the season. He's got 2 against the Eagles. Eagles are going to get 2 out of him. So Jalen Carter, all around talent.
Do you think he's the best defensive tackle in the game right now?
Yeah, he's getting up there. Yeah. He's that guy.
Because ever since Arnold left, it's kind of been like
he's unblockable one-on-one.
Most definitely. I can't wait for that.
He's playing to the potential,
right? And I just can't wait till we talk about the preview game in the NFC Championship, because the Washington Commanders had an injury that's going to be real serious problem for them in the offensive line.
Yeah, it's what's the Kazi
guy. He tore his ACL. He's out for the game.
I mean, these are the type of things that you pick out, man. That's why you pick the pigeon, and that's what you pick on. And the loopers will be looping. I mean, we also, obviously we kind of talked about our offensive MVP and defensive MVP, because can we all say offensive MVP would be Saquon yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Defensive MVP, Jalen Carter.
Okay, well, all right, I'm gonna go Jalen Carter, but I gotta give a little Nolan Smith some love there. I gotta
Well,
give him some.
I was. That's where I was. I was just
Oh,
kind of
okay,
headed.
yeah, I gotta give
Hey,
Nolan Smith some
I
love.
was kind of headed. If we could all agree on that, then we can go straight
Yeah.
to our underdog performance.
Right.
I think Nolan Smith, man. He is.
Okay.
I think he had himself a day. Yes. I mean, you could say Slay, you could say Nolan Smith, but I mean, just giving him props. Nolan Smith was giving everyone fits.
Yeah, bro, his speed rush is just phenomenal. Like last year, it was garbage. Like I ain't gonna lie, it was trash. It's like that experience of him watching tape of himself and learning the format and just the way the formation that what he's doing, bro, is just unreal, bro. Like his speed rush is probably the best at speed rush. Thanks to BG. I think BG has something to do with that.
Jason says, seeing everyone's views of the game when Dawkins came out, tears, man, tears of pure joy. I've got a lot of hey, did anyone tell you look like Brian Dawkins? To tell you, okay, I had to let's hunt exactly what he was wearing, but I was like, yeah, not even. I mean, I've heard it millions of times, but
you know what I've been hearing a lot? I look like BG. That's what everybody says.
What's up, BG?
I don't look nothing like BG, bro.
But it was almost like
a big black man called BG.
It was almost like the whoever is charged of getting Dawkins out there. Like, can somebody call Dawkins? Feels like we need a boost of energy. Get him in. Get him out of the tunnel right now. Like, how do they know at that time we were just like, we need some juice?
They've been doing a great job with it. You know, last week was Gilly. Now this past week was Dawkins. They've been doing a good job. I hope it's somebody dope for the NFC Championship now. Like, gotta get us somebody.
The Gilly vibes was like from the very beginning of the day, man. I mean, we're out there like dancing to the Gilly song, doing the Gilly dance.
Oh, blow the whistle.
You know, while we're waiting in line, you know what I mean? Like everybody just kept on playing it. You know, everybody was doing their part. Yeah, bro, Brian Dawkins coming out of that tunnel, like my soul left my body. Like I was ready to go through like 3 walls, bro. Oh my god, like everybody, I literally was pushing all the guys in front of me. I was pushing up, and then I ended up accidentally pushing one of the guy's girls, and because I thought it was the guy at first, and then they ended up switching seats on me. And when she turned around, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry," but I pushed the shit out of her. And I looked at Auditor, I'm like, "Oh man." She was like, "It's okay." She was like, "It's all right." I was like, "Oh my god." She was like, "Man, you gonna give her a concussion?" I'm like,
"We're about to go to jail." We're about to go to jail,
man. That's how. But I mean, like every play, every good play, the touchdowns, the celebrations. I mean, bro, it brought back that 2017. Somebody mentioned it earlier, like when we played the Atlanta, that game was stressful, but us sticking together as fans, as players, playing that game out and coming with the outcome with the W, it was like all over again yesterday. All over again. And then
so the vibes were great then,
You saw what happened in the NFC Championship the next week.
Right.
Let's go. Get ready for it again.
I mean, you talk about that. Last three times the Eagles have played at a home in the NFC Championship game. Falcons in 2004, 2005 season. Vikings in the 2017, 2018 season. 49ers in 2022. They have gone on to play in the Super Bowl. So obviously, you talk about playing at home. It's having the home field advantage is tremendous. I think the Commanders don't have to go too far up 95, which is the highway around here for your out of towners. But I did see Big Fish Little Boat. He said that he is coming to his first game. His first game is that what he's saying? Will he be tailgate? Is a good question. HBS, any update on Jalen and Quinyon? If you know, Jalen said he's good to go for next week.
Yeah.
If you're looking something official, Quignon also said he'll be fine. I was wondering where, obviously, shout out to Evan Hollywood Hearn, who's actually moving today. Good luck moving. Moving can always be a difficult thing, but
especially in the cold.
Also, it's a difficult thing is moving in place of a guy like Quignon. You talked about it. Whatchamacallit had a good day, man. Cornerback.
Yeah,
I'm blanking.
I didn't even realize what had happened until it came up on the board that he was questionable, and then of course they decided to keep him out the rest of the game. I didn't see the play. I didn't see. I heard it was when Matthew got sacked or something like that.
Nah, it was when he was running for that first down, but he came up short. Quignon hit him.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean it was on the other side of the field, so
Gotcha.
that's why I didn't see it. But hey, look, man, Isaiah Rodgers, he played his part. Came in, was clutch. I mean, I know you've touched on that a little bit earlier, Tim, with his size and what I mean. But I mean, it's the animal in that dude, man. Like, we saw that. I mean, let's go back to preseason. We saw how he was playing. We saw that how amped he was to get in on the field and show his stuff. It's those type of opportunities like yesterday for him to go ahead and do that, and he came in clutch. I mean, Jalen Carter smacking that ball out of Williams' hands, and then Isaiah being right there. I mean, I go back to seeing that play. That thing ended up rolling by 3 LA Rams before Isaiah got it. So it was just
spin move. The spin move was crazy.
Yeah, it was like, man, I thought he was going. I thought it was in, man. I was like, come on.
Me too.
I thought he was in, but hey, I mean, it's just those moments, man, and I'm glad he got to experience that yesterday. I mean, that was clutch.
It's crazy though, because you talk about the corner situation from last year to this year, and whoa, it's a 360. I mean, we still have James Bradbury on the team, and he's a man that's out of sight, out of mind, out of sight. You know what I mean? And then you got Avonte Maddox. He's somewhere buried in the roster.
Still gaming. Hey, he's still gaming.
Right, but and he's playing more in the safety role now. He's not really playing, as a corner DB inside position. But I gotta give my big props up to Cooper DeJean, bro. He is such a dope ass open field tackler. He is an old school player. I love it, man. Because in that corner position, you got to be able to tackle. You got to put your face in the fan, and he's ready to do it week in and week out, bro.
I mean, I seen him on a couple of reps against Cooper Kupp. I mean, he showed he was the more elite Cooper in the building. Oh, yeah. But shout out to Blue Mean. He says Quignon
is better than your Cooper.
Shout out to Blue Meanie. He says Quignon says he's good for next week. We don't need Adam Schefter when you got Blue Meanie at the helm. AJ says evening Bird Gang victory. We have resident hater Pete Nathan letting everyone know that 28-22, just like I predicted. Mark Bird, he says the team is playing team ball. It's the whole team. Javier talks about a play that I actually CJGJ made a key stop on 3rd and short, shot through the gap for. And my thing with CJ is he has his like assignment, and then once he knows that he can pull the trigger on something because the instincts just pop off, he just goes and like leaves what he's got to do to make a big play. So I love that. Now Pete asks, how concerned are y'all about Jalen's health? I think at this point, I think he should be all right. I think he said, I finished the game, right? Like obviously we are concerned. I've got about 50 texts about Jalen, and everyone's concerned. Yeah. But Jason chimes in. He says Hurts and his offense making the plays that count. Bunch of you hungry dogs on defense. Love his team. Holla at your boy from Iowa.
Hey,
also an original Cooper DeJean fan. Yeah, man. Like Prompt said, man. Yesterday was like a movie. It was really. It started building in the lots. Obviously, I don't know if you guys know that we run a little tailgate. We had a great time out there, man. We posted a lot of our stories, but everyone just had a really good time at the tailgate. We had rapper Lust came out from he came out to the snow. He was like rapping in the snow. Had Eagle fans around him. Bud Light, shout out to Bud Light. They brought him down there. Shout out to Evan with the cheesesteaks. Cheesesteaks were killing it. I also have I do have another video of an Eagles fan praising his love for the cheesesteaks. I will find it, but he was like, hey man, I've been to D'Alessandro's, I've been to this place, but Evan's cheesesteak is by far the best. Shout out to Cassio Cooks who did ribs for us this week. And then shout out to Mark who brought those banging pretzels from Jersey. I don't know if you got one. Straight from the bakery.
You're on mute.
But yeah,
I had a pretzel yesterday. That was love. Shout out to Chris for the goodies.
Oh, hell yeah.
What I mean?
Chris was
the cookies. The
every week, man, y'all be talking about them cookies, B.
Bro, these cookies be hitting, man.
But I know what I'm saying. I gotta come home, B. I gotta come home. Every week, bro. Y'all be talking about them.
They come in clutch. They hold us down until Evan decides to go ahead and get that grill popping. And yeah, and I tell everybody, I'm pretty sure I was called a few times on the live feed, like introducing myself because you see people like standing on the outside. I hate that. Don't do that. I'm gonna go grab you and I'm gonna wheel you in. Make sure you good. I had one LA couple meet another LA couple. They linked up. Bam. Keep it moving.
Oh, they Ram fans?
Yeah. No, they were Eagles fans.
Okay.
We had some people that would ride with us. For years. Ended up coming to the tailgates after not seeing them for a while. So that was love. It was just like the vibes, man. It was just meant to be. And bro, it couldn't have gone any better. It's like Yo said, man. It was just like a movie. Like, yeah. We could probably get like an Emmy award for the shit that went off yesterday.
The whole week building up has always been, we did the pep rally with Fox 29, and then later in the evening, shout out to Emily, his manager who hooked up the invite to to hang out with Jason Kelsey for at least 15 minutes felt like eternity for us. I think just I told him that you've done everything else. I was like, acting is just the next step. I said maybe Expendables 12. We could put you in there. He said maybe.
Might have to 15.
But again, the week has been incredible. Just Prime was saying earlier, after the game, we had like this snowball fight with everyone that the people that were at the tailgate. Shout out to Helena, shout out to Chris, and shout out to Tim. We're all here like kids, literally like kids, and it's not like I'm an OG. I've reached OG status. I'm well aware of that. I was running around there with no ACL today. I'm like,
I was about to say, your ass don't need to be running. You got no ACL.
But we weren't thinking about none of that stuff, man. Like it was just like we were just in the moment. From the time like Autumn was like the kid on Elf. She had those balls already. She had those
already loaded up,
lined up, already loaded up. I'm waiting
for
Gail. I'm waiting for Amanda. I'm waiting for Helena. And then as soon as we saw them, oh man, we just I'm out, bam, bam, bam. Awesome. Just got it in and had a good time. It was good to see. Autumn and Amanda getting it in. They were enjoying themselves. Of course, shout out to Sis. You could hear her from a mile away. Working her way around the corner. So it was just like, she was coming. Yeah. But no, man, the vibe is just like, just seeing everybody happy. I even had my cousins, man. My cousin who, is the reason why I became an Eagles fan, come to the tailgate. So him being there and his brother, shout out to Leo and Pun for being there and showing me love. But I just knew it was going to be a good day with the amount of love that was coming to the tailgate, man. It was.
Hey, did my cousin show up? Did my cousin show up?
Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was.
He did. He didn't even call me.
He didn't even take a. I said, bro, you the young buck guy. You got to make a field goal kick before you can eat anything.
Oh God, I'm pretty sure he missed it, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He's like he didn't want to do it.
Okay.
Shout out to
Gels was practicing like all morning.
Right. Gel over here cheating.
Just to get the right video. Yeah, just to get.
Ain't got no ACL over here kicking field goals and running in the snow. You wildin'. I love it though.
He was kicking like the nutcracker. He was kicking like the nutcracker, all stiff and just. Like, what this guy doing?
Hey,
going straight up.
I made my stuff, man. But shout out to DJ Gabriel. I don't know if you guys he's the guy that does the fake WIP caller or like the radio caller. What he said, he had a line about he said more people down at the 4th and Jawn tailgate were making more kicks than Jake Elliott. So check out that we posted on reposted on our IG, but yeah, man, it was just it was a good overall vibe. I know Jerome was talking about, Oren Burks played way better than I thought he would. His brother showed up to our tailgate, and we were talking to him about his brother, and he was like, and I was like, bro, he was like talking about his brother getting fined for the last hit. I told him, I was like, your brother was a tone setter, man, and he's been, for his role, you talk about the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the kind of linebacker play that we had in that Super Bowl run, backup linebackers that helped us down the stretch. But Oren Burks, he made a couple solid tackles in the heat of the moment.
When he batted down that the ball, bro, that was big. That was really big. But can we talk about the elephant in the room though? What's up with Jake, bro?
Oh, I was about to bring this up.
Okay, and then I definitely want to talk about this though. Shout out to Jalen Carter for picking up Matthew Stafford. That was mad funny because it kind of reminded me what he did in the championship game in college. I said, and when he did that, I said, "We going to the NFC Championship." Right when he did that, we're going.
HB says, "Are we worried about Jake Elliott?" Yeah, he made those field goals, but 2 missed. It's tough because it's like the field goals that he made. You see the likes of Jordan Mailata on the ground like a little kid digging at the snow to get the kick off. Like the conditions that he had to make some of these kicks in. I mean, the early one when there's no snow on the ground, I don't know, but he did make some really big kicks when we needed it. And I think the fact that they're still riding with him after what he's been through this season, it's tough because here's some of the numbers. Jake Elliott, he has missed PATs in consecutive playoff games, and he is 1 for 7 from 50 yards and out during the regular season. Elliott has missed 8 kicks in the Eagles' last 10 games, and we've seen other kickers in the league. I don't know if you've watched the Ravens. Their kickers had issues, and he's the GOAT. But it is what it is. I think it's just like, I mean, it's hard to just say it is what it is. You just missed the kick. But he's going through something, and I think a confidence thing. A lot of players deal with confidence issues during games, and I think it's tough. I mean, it is tough. Prime, I know you were in a commercial with Jake Elliott. I think you might have to send out a bat signal, maybe a hug. Send him a hug emoji or something.
Chicken Little stickers.
I mean, I think if I actually see him, I would give him a hug, like he needs something, some type of love, bro. Because I mean, it's stressful. Like it definitely pissed me off. 2 extra points. I mean, that last drive that was the nail biter would have probably been more at ease knowing that we were holding a 7-point lead. But holding a 6-point lead because you missed the field, an extra point, missing 2 extra points, we could have been up by 8. Put a little bit more pressure on them. But that wasn't the case. And I don't know, man. Like, I know they were cleaning up the floor for him and trying to make it easy. But I mean, like, we know Jake to make these kicks in even crazier situations. So for him to just miss these simple ones. I don't know, man. I just hope everything's all right. And whatever you gotta do to get it fixed, get it done, man. Because my money's still on Jake, man. Hey, look, that's my guy. My money's still on Jake.
Yeah, I mean, we still got to roll with him. But damn, man, those are imperative, man. Like that stuff can come and bite you in the ass later in the game, especially his playoff football. But he wasn't the only one that made a mistake. I mean, there's some things that we definitely need to clean up. Lane Johnson with the tush push and false start. AJ Brown, you complaining, you're reading books aside, brother. I need you to catch that ball. He dropped 2 passes. I know, like it's when you're in the cold and it's snowing like that, the ball gets harder. It's hard to catch. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's some things that we definitely need to clean up. And Jalen, bro, Kellen, I already know that you're interviewing for the Cowboys, but brother, come on, man. I need you focused. I need you 100% dialed into that playbook for the Eagles.
I mean, hey, we talked about screen passes. One time we do hit on the Dallas Goddard screen pass, which, I mean, because like go back and watch the game, you start looking at parts of the game where we, off the Isaiah Rodgers turnover, how the hell we did not connect on that. They called back the touchdown. That play where Mekhi Becton was too far down the field on the screen. We don't do that. We score there. Probably. Lane Johnson on a tush push with a flinch doesn't normally happen, but that was a good call and they got him on that. I mean, these are like self-inflicted wounds. We talk about the 2 extra points that they missed, and then you talk about the safety that Jalen Hurts, for some reason, knowing you can't take a sack there, but I would have ran the ball anyway. But that is that you gave him 2 points on the missed. I mean, you gave him 2 points on the safety, then missed the extra points, make the extra points. That's a 4-point swing in a game like this in playoffs. You really can't happen. Self-inflicted stuff can't happen.
Yeah, I have to clean that up. They got to clean that up.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to all the people in the comments. There's a lot of people out here in the comments. I want to bring up some of your stuff. Shout out to Kathy. We saw her at the tailgate. Shout out to all the employees that definitely dealt with the weather at that game. That was extreme.
That was clutch. That was clutch, man. A lot of them ended up coming to our tailgates before they ended up going and clocking in. Yeah, thank you guys, man. I mean, you guys put on did a hell of a thing yesterday in that weather, and everybody was cool. Shout out to Kathy. I know she had asked to keep her sisters in our prayers. She lost a friend, so shout out to Kathy and her sister. But yeah, man, it's always good seeing those guys put in the work that they do and then taking care of us when they see us. It's nothing but love with us. So appreciate y'all.
Shout out to David Pops in the house. Julie says Cooper is a future star.
I need you to get that interception next time, though.
Yeah, he balled out.
I need you to catch that ball, baby. You catch that ball. We good.
It was a wrap. It was a wrap.
Yo, imagine if Slay caught that other one.
The first one?
He tried to break on it. You made a nice break on it. But yeah.
So did Rodgers. Rodgers should have had 2 picks.
I mean, we're talking about Matt Stafford, the guy who slings the rock. I feel like
crafty.
I've always loved Stafford in the way that he throws the football. But greetings and salutations to John, legend in the chat. Shout out to Todd. He says, Buddy asked me how we handled Jaden. That's Jaden Daniels. For all the people in the comments of, I think a couple shows ago, talk about Jaden Daniels. This is the Eagles podcast. I show respect, and this is Jaden Daniels in the Commanders making it to the Divisional in his rookie year. It's nothing to he's whatever. You hat tip where it's due. But again, I just talk about the Commanders doing their offseason, getting a new GM, getting a new GM, new coach, all that stuff I was hoping they kept all the same things. The Riveras of the world, the Snyders of the world, the QB revolving door there. That was what was holding them back. So yeah, they have something to be happy about, but obviously it comes to Philly. So it is going to be interesting to see how we what we dial up. This is it's a great situation at hand, but yeah, I'm up. I'm feeling great. We're opening up as a 4 point, I believe, a 4 point favorite for this game as of right now.
Like the
As of right
odds.
now. As of right now. Um, do we have any? Did you guys say your underdog performance?
No, my bad.
No, we didn't touch.
My
We didn't
bad.
touch on that. We didn't touch on that one.
Your underdog performance. We'll start with you, Timothy.
Man, underdog performance. I'm gonna have to go with Kenny Gainwell. He has some key moments in that game and imperative recovering the fumble with Jalen. I think that was like that would have been a momentum swing right there. Gainwell is my underdog performer. I know he doesn't get that many chances to get on the field because we got Saquon, aka Superman or Captain America, or however y'all want to call him. But when he gets in, man, he does his thing, and he doesn't get discouraged from being the backup role. There's a reason why we call him Playoff Kenny. He's just different in the playoffs, bro. He comes in clutch at times. That's my underdog performer.
I'm gonna go with Isaiah Rodgers, man, coming in clutch. For Quinyon going down, big key to that fumble recovery. Putting the work on getting it to the position that he got us in. And it just like overall, just holding it down. He did wonders. 5 combined tackles for somebody like you said earlier. They were sitting on a cold bench. And they come in and play for come in and cover for somebody that is down on an injury. Hey,
right.
I give him all the props in the world for doing his thing yesterday.
We got AJ with an underdog Bond. Darren says Rogers, pop him down under with the Isaiah Rogers. Shout out to Brianna, who's at the tailgate, and also won the crafty Jawn chain.
Hey,
so it was first time winning. She's geeked up.
Congrats,
I got a picture of her. With that, AJ says Kenny G played great with a few touches. 843 says Orrin Burks. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with this. Bola says Rogers. Shout out to Perk. He says J Dot. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go with I have to go with I'll go Slay. So I think Slay had there's a lot of stops there that he had. I thought he played with a lot of fire in a lot of emotion. As you get older in life, you got to show people that you still got it. And I thought he showed out there. He showed out. I thought he definitely showed out.
Well, you see what he said at his press conference. He said, he knows the mechanics of Stafford. So he said sometimes you gotta jump out and pop out and show off. I was like, all right, bro, go ahead and talk your shit.
But speaking of underdogs, shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Jawn to get up to $1,000 bonus and a bonus cash and a free pick. Because we in the last couple of weeks been trying to get you guys with all the knowledge. So Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the playoffs. Which players are going off? Which ones are ice cold? With over 5 million happy players and 2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all your favorite athletes' performances. With the picking game, you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats, yards, touchdown, interceptions, and more. Underdog is the only picking platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands now. You can either keep riding with your entry or tap the win now button to cash out whenever you want. Talk about some of these entries. We talked about Saquon. That was
over 110.
That was automatic. Guy put up 200.
I got Bone 1 interception.
Bone 1 interception next week.
For next week.
Next week. I can't get out of my head.
Are you seeing something in your dreams that
I'm seeing something? I'm seeing something as I'm daydreaming.
Hey, you know what? When he talks like that, I'm not going to put it out there like that, but listen to when Primo's talking because he has
visions.
Man.
I keep daydreaming.
Jalen's Hunt is a good one too. Jalen's Hunt for a sack. Jalen's Hunt for a sack.
Jalen's Hunt. Oh God, he
Bro,
came in big.
He came real big. Yes.
Jalen Carter, I say 2 sacks.
Okay.
I'll go 2 sacks.
I say Jordan Davis with a sack too.
Let's see. I say Ertz under 50.
Under 50. All right.
I think he's gonna be he'll get. I mean, that's not too bad. Jalen Hurts 2 touchdown passes next week.
I like that. I did win on Jalen over. I think Jalen over 30, and I think I said that last week, and I put it in put an entry one.
So we go in the sizzle or what?
I mean, I'll be cash app you.
All right. But Underdog is the best place to pick them. Download the app, sign up with the promo code Jawn, and deposit now to get $1,000 of bonus cash instantly. That's promo code Jawn. Must be 18 years or older, 19 years or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 years or older in Colorado for some games, 21 years or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado for some games. Concerned when you play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text next step to 53342. In New York, call 24/7-HOPE-LINE at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY, HOPE-NY, or text HOPE-NY 467-369. And then if you're in Arizona and you need a pair of sneakers, you text Tim Kincaid because Mans has got a problem.
Sneakers.
You got a problem, man.
Root all evil, bro.
From a friend to a friend, you have a problem.
Thank you. I got to go to my AMU. Thank you now.
Shout out to Joe. He says a Jomo
had a good game too. He had a really good game. Nice sack.
Jomo was, it's you talk about that offensive line, right? We talk about Fletcher Cox leaving, right? We talk about Brandon Graham being injured. I saw somebody in the comments saying, "Will he be back?" You talk about
BG
Camden's finest in the, Hassan Reddick not being back, and I know Prime felt a certain way about him. Talk about those guys all out of the equation. We have the young dogs who are really coming into their own, but like not just him, but more old Jomo. We have some young guys. Those guys are around 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Milton Williams. I mean, they're all young.
Man, Milton Williams is gone though. I think he's gone after this. He's probably gonna get like a big payday like Hargrave or something.
So you're not paying Milton Williams. We can talk about it in the offseason. I don't mean, yeah. I'm just kidding. But I mean, Ray says his underdog for me, Nolan. Everyone thought he busted. I mean, I was just looking at our Nolan Smith video when he was drafted. We were so happy. I mean, I was so happy.
We all talked about he needed to get his work in and he needed to progress, and he did. But I don't recall anybody ever giving up on him.
But I do think I think that's the beauty of actually playing and getting reps and getting out there and showing out. I think, can we talk about? We try to stay positive on this podcast, but I mean, we do. Your biggest concerns moving forward this week?
Or what side of the ball?
Any.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a different outcome because Jalen's going to be playing this game, and he's going to be playing the whole game. Definitely got to keep an eye out on some of the grimy shit, some of the dirty shit. I don't want to talk too much. We want to kind of save it for the next show, but that's just I guess if the only concern that I got is just you go back to the stats and you see some of the receiving yards from yesterday's game. Again, I don't want to go back with what I said. Everybody played a part, but every week we got to come back stronger. So, we just might have to, we definitely going to have to do a little bit more, what I mean, against a team that I'm not going to sleep on. It's a divisional game, NFC Championship game. Everything's on the line to get to the promised land. So, yeah, you just got to put on that work and he's got to get the ball to the receivers. He's got to, get these guys working a little bit more. Thankful for Barkley, really am, but I just can't see him being the only thing. Eventually, they're going to go ahead and stack up that line, and then they're going to force Jalen to beat them. Hitting the receivers, and that's what he has to do.
Yeah. All right. My biggest concern is Kellen Moore. He's my biggest concern, and it's the play calling and like the rhythm. And instead of like, I don't know what I don't understand some of the concepts of what he is trying to run when he knows there's like 8-9 men in the box. I don't understand it. And then when you have Saquon, he's getting bit by bit by bit. He's chopping out the bit, and then you stop. You know what I mean? And then you want to just do straight up no RPOs. You just want to do straight up shotgun. There needs to be better play calling and better designs. I need more crossing routes with the wide receivers. That helps. AJ, let's get him some slants. Like I don't understand the play calling. The play calling is starting to get really, really stale. He's my biggest concern right now. Like a John Gannon of last year. You know what I mean?
He's called up some good games here and there. I just think he's got the talent to do so, and when you're just relying on the I'm not gonna say the scheme to beat them. Mm-hmm. Like you can keep things. The talent to beat them, and not just the scheme. I think you got to scheme up. These rub routes we've asked for. How many times have we seen? The crosser routes, the mesh concept, break off a lot of these plays. It's always nice to see Devontae Smith on a crosser. I did like the screen. You finally got a screen to Dallas Goedert. That was nice, I think. But I do think when you see that blitz coming and you don't have an option like a hot route immediately, especially over the middle. But I'm wondering. Jahan Dotson was open on some of these.
Yes. My
concern is like, at what point are we going to utilize him at all? Like, if the defenses know that he's not going to be like an option, they just he is randomly open sometimes on some of these plays. I would like to see some plays dialed up for him, just because they don't think they're going.
I totally agree with you. I did find it interesting how they switched it up in the beginning of the starters. They went to the 2 tight end personnel. And when I see that, I kind of like, oh, okay. So Goddard and Calcaterra are starters. And then J-Dot is getting hit in the bench, but he'll be a rotating piece as a wide receiver position. But I just don't understand, man. We got so many weapons. Like, come on. Like, why are we not cooking? Why are we getting so stale? And run the ball the first two plays. I like how they started. The first 12 to 15 plays are scripted. They did their thing. You know what I'm saying? We put points on the board. They did their thing. But it gets stale after a moment. And it's like, read the game. Read the game. It's a running game. We are a running team first. Have it, let the run game open up the passing game.
Bob from Downer says his biggest concern is Hurts' knee, spine containing Jaden. That'll be interesting. Tim, shout out to Tim. He says he's concerned with the D adapting to a fast-paced, no-huddle offense. Shout out to Tim Hayes. He says everyone has the same concern as Jake Elliott and play calling. AJ says correct, Tim. Play designs need to change. George would like Jalen to get rid of the ball quicker. That's something that we talked about on the last pod. It was really just about his ability to get the ball out fast, especially against those edges or the Rams defenders getting the ball out quick. The quick game. It's not the dump offs or. I'm also going to talk about the tempo. Sometimes when we get like a little big play, why don't we just hurry up.
Right.
Just let's get some of that little quick stuff, dump off, like get them off kilter. Don't get them like it's like give me more tempo. That would be nice.
Right.
But then I don't know, during the game I was just like I was sitting there not trying to think about it, but like I was thinking about that interview that he had with Dallas. I was like somebody didn't spend enough time.
Get off my chest. I got something to get off my chest.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Okay. Darren says his biggest concern, letting Daniels extend drives with his legs. We have to get pressure and exactly put him down when we get home. Greg says more needs to make designs getting Dotson openings. See, there we go. We're all on the same page in the chat here. Heather asked, do you really think Washington can play at the level 2 weeks in a row? I just think when a team gets hot, they get hot at the right time. Going into playoffs, I think that's helped. I think I know Zach Ertz is going to give his, because I was thinking, I was like, I hope Zach Ertz don't give his same burn the ships speech to that team that he gave to our team during the playoff runs. I'm like, bro, somebody better let me know if he cut and paste his own bullshit. Okay, I can say that now because you're a commander right now, but he's gonna say burn the ships. You know the story of that ship, the fighters that they got to the beach and they burned the ships because there was no. He's gonna use that same shit. I know it. I'm gonna ask somebody.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy, Zach.
Any other concerns? Perk says we need more play action off the run. How about the play action off the run in the fourth quarter when you just should have ran the ball? Yeah, 4-minute offense with the Eagles is a nutshell sometimes. Like what? Some of these, like who called that? Like who called the passing out of the end zone and who called that one?
It's like when you play Madden and you're like, it's like coach suggestion, and you just go ahead and put that ball. That's basically how it was. I was like, what are we doing here? Why are we not running the ball? Like, bro, you don't throw the ball at your own end zone like that. Come on, man. That was terrible.
Todd mentions 0 turnovers in a game like that. That's got to be a hat tip, right? 0 turnovers.
Yeah, 0 turnovers, and we also gotten 16 takeaways for the last 4 or 5 games. So that's something, bro. Like I think what I love about this defense, if I know the ball is going to hit that carpet, the Eagles are going to go get it. Scratch the ball. I love that.
AJ is saying leave Ertz alone. He's still sad. Did you see when Ertz and Sirianni got into it after the game?
Yeah.
Did we figure out what he said to him?
No.
Something disrespectful about his wife.
I'm pretty sure they're going to continue that conversation this weekend.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Julie says clock management is a problem too. You know what annoyed the hell out of me? We talked about those Gainwell plays on that 2-minute drive. I mean, obviously the catch would have been nice, but how we did not kick a field goal at the end of the second was a problem. Like we were in field goal range, and then we took a sack.
It was only like 2-3 seconds left. I didn't understand it either. But that tells you he doesn't believe in Jake.
Well, I mean, we could have, like, if you look at all the plays that happened in that on that drive, we were in range to kick a field goal at least. But it is what it is, you know. You had a penalty here and there, but
bro, this should have been a blowout. I don't care what nobody said. This game should have been a blowout. You know what I mean? We just had some opportunities and they dropped it. I hope, like I said, they got to minimize the mistakes because this is playoff football. It's you win and you win or you lose and you go home.
Bry Guy says Ertz was talking mess and Nick hit an emotional and said you didn't do shit. Something like that. Like I do got to give props to Nick Sirianni. He's got our team in a position in the NFC Championship.
This is the second time, right? In 3 years?
Second time.
It's like we've been in the NFC Championship in 3 years.
Yeah. You know, my math's bad.
Yeah, I know.
When Evan was telling me it was like 7 years since we won the Super Bowl, I was like, 7 years, dog. What?
Well, I think it's because we went in 2017 and in 22 we came back, went in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? You know what's really funny though is how Giant fans and Cowboy fans were just so upset.
They still are. They still are.
I'm getting text messages from my boy Tate. I'm getting all text messages from my cousins, a Cowboy fan. They are sick to their stomach that they got 2 NFC East teams in the NFC Championship. They sick to their stomach, B.
Bro,
my brother was trying to come up with all different types of narrative, who to root for, who not to root for. He's just all over the place, man.
He ain't never been to Dallas in his life, man. Yes.
Yeah.
Now Bob from Down Under says that weather was terrible. I could barely see, and I'm just sitting there. Imagine running into that.
So this is what I have to say. Because I'm mad at you too. I know y'all retired, but when I call, pick up the phone. I need vibes too.
Yo, man. when I saw that you called, let me tell you something, man. I'm still hurting, and I said this before we got on the show. Like, Friday we did the Fox 29. We stood that whole event. Then we go to Jason Kelsey's event. We stood that whole event.
Oh, yeah.
Then Saturday, I don't know what Gail did, but I know I was doing some work up in here, and I'm going up and down the attic. And then we go to the cruise. Shout out to Kate and the PR crew, the PR girls, hooking us up. It was a great time. Then I decided to get on the dance floor. Did about 3 dances, and then I was done. Then, you know what I mean, we come to the tailgate yesterday, and we stood the whole goddamn day. I didn't sit for nothing. I didn't sit the game. I stood the whole game. This morning, I don't even know how I still had legs.
Bro, you need some sleep.
I got out of the bed and then I fell to the ground because my legs were done. That's how I feel. So sorry, my bad. I didn't answer the phone, but I was done. When I said my bed didn't felt the best I had ever felt in my life. Yeah, bro, it was a wrap.
I will get many. This is not just one person. This is like a lot of people will the next day be like, "Hey, man, can I get my tailgate photo?" And I'm like, "Bro, I have not slept in 2 days."
I handed him something 1 minute, and 2 minutes later I asked for it, and he says, "Oh shit, I don't even remember where I put it." What the
bro?
That's how tired he was.
But this is the thing though with Gail. So when Gail's tailgating, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about tailgating with Gail Saunders. So Gail speaks to everyone. Primo is just vibes coordinator, cutting sandwiches, boom, 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 and security. Like he's the big dom of the 4th of Jawn. So this want to let you guys know, like these guys, they work. So you know what I mean? I just want to speak for myself, and I can speak for others. Is thank you for throwing them dope ass tailgates.
Nah, I mean, and it's truly worth it. Meeting all the great people. I met cool people from Colombia, Eagle fans that was their first. Being a part of someone's first experience at the link is like, to me, that's an honor, and it's always like it's always a pleasure, and that's why we do it.
Yeah, it's all about the reactions, man. I agree with Gail. Just getting all those reactions and people being happy just knows that it's satisfying and we did our jobs. You know what I mean? But it was nuts. Yesterday was a great goddamn time, and I'm gonna spill a little bit of juice on myself. Like, shout out to Quinn. You know, he came and showed up with a fireball keg, and bro. He started pouring these shots, and I mean, like, these shots were about 3 shots worth. And then I had 3 of those bad boys back to back to back. So in total, I had 9 straight shots of
and you don't drink.
And I don't. So yesterday, I was telling Autumn, babe, I don't remember packing up.
Oh
I don't
wow.
remember backing up. I get into the stands and we have 11 people on our team on the field. It looked like it was about 33 people on the field yesterday. That's how my eyes were
Hey,
all over the
hey,
place.
good question though. Was you warm? Was you warm?
I was good. Wifey bought me a Pepsi, and that shit just started calming down. And then I'll give her a bump, and I'm like, now I see 11 people. now I can see.
Lit.
Yo, I was lit. I know Gail don't want to hear that, but I'm just being honest.
Oh,
I
what?
was
I
lit.
we I think Amanda was like, I think Prime's drunk.
I was lit.
Yo, I've
It
known
was that.
Brian.
It was that. It was that. I had Coronas. My cousin shows
Oh
up. My
yeah.
cousin shows up, and he's got Remy. But oh, boy, I was like, holy shit.
Oh, it was the buff.
But it was a great time.
It was
It
the
was a
buff
great
pit
time,
bull.
yeah, bro. But it was a great time. That's all I could just tell you.
Awesome.
Great time.
Shout out. There's a question in here. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, bring them up. Heath says, so are you guys worried at all about Jalen's performance lately? Watching the Commanders get 4 picks in that last playoff game had me concerned. My thing with Jalen, I think I've always talked about him turning over the ball. That was a major concern because when we get turnovers, it leads to L's. But I think I really do. You got with a guy like at the Commanders the last time we played the Commanders, that game was close to being wrapped up in the second, wherever the quarter was, first quarter, almost
First
start
quarter.
of the second.
Started the second massacre.
If Jalen was still playing in that game, and I think it's woulda, coulda, shoulda, whatever. What happened was the Eagles lost, and and when they did lose, I said, well, that's good. They caught an L at this time. They could take a learning lesson. Guys, backup players got some backup QBs, got some reps, which was great. But I think Jalen just needs to lock in. I think Kellen needs to lock in. I think they need to get together and figure out how to get Dallas Goedert more involved as well. Because pre-show we talked about him being the X factor. So far, he's been the guy that's been the most. He's put up some good numbers. I think you got to rely on him. But I do think I'm not concerned. Because there's people that I had a conversation with Eagle fan. Eagle fan. I had a conversation with Jesse Wines today. Shout out! Make sure you hit him up for graphics. Jesse_Wines. But there's a lot of people in that stadium, and I'm just being real, that don't root for their quarterback.
That's so weird.
It's weird.
It
weird.
is, man. Yeah,
Prom, you see it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a faction of this fan base that does not root on your players like they should be rooted on.
I do.
In the playoffs, man. Everybody got to get behind the team, man.
I mean, and like you speaking on that, like even the national media gets on Jalen. Like it was so weird. So like this morning, oh man, I was killing it.
That was me. That was me.
So like this morning, I'm watching Get Up, and they're like, oh well, Jalen didn't do this, Jalen didn't do this, and Jalen didn't do that. And then now, okay, now we're going to talk about the Bills and the Ravens. Oh, Josh Allen. It's like, okay, the Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts have the same statistics. So what are we talking about? It's crazy as hell to me, man. I don't understand it. The hate that this man gets, bro. Josh Allen hasn't even been to a Super Bowl. He keeps on losing to Patrick Mahomes. But we got Jalen that's been to a Super Bowl, outballed Patrick, had a mistake here and there, but bro, like it's so crazy to me, man. I just it's so annoying.
And then when it gets weird when they say, I mean, we a lot of people in our comments, we on this podcast talked about playing to our strengths earlier in the season, where we're like, we need to, and we're not getting paid to be any coaches or consultants, but as a group, we all said, let the Eagles team play to their strengths. ride the wheels of Saquon Barkley. Have we not seen what Saquon Barkley is capable of? He's had the best season of any Eagle player I can think in a long time. In a long time. I mean, the Nick Foles come up was legendary in a 4-game span. But I think Saquon Barkley's performance this year has been super duper. Heather says we're playing complimentary football. Jalen doesn't have to be perfect.
Shout out to you, Heather.
See, and this is why the teachers teach.
Mm-hmm. And why is it always Saquon saves the day? It's like, bro, it takes the guys up front. Like Jalen is a student of the game. That one, the one where he ran up for like 60 or 70 yards on the left side. If Jalen doesn't check out that play, and him, Jalen and Saquon, that was kind of dope. Did you see that? Did you guys catch that? You guys were there.
What?
They had like a talk. He was like, "Hey, switch. You're over here." That was dope.
You mean the run?
And he was like, "Yeah." On the run, he was like, Saquon was like,
"I got this."
What? He's like, "Where am I supposed to go?" He's like, "Now." And then he goes, "Ooh, I got this."
Yeah,
that was dope, bro. But hey, you know what I mean? Like, why is it not okay to lean on a running back? Why is it? I just don't understand it. It's like different strokes for different folks, bro. Like, we got to stop that. Like, we've got 14 wins this year, and we're in the playoffs, NFC Championship.
Shout out to Blue Mini. Also, again, we said we don't need Adam Schefter when you have Blue Mini.
Thank you, legend. You have my back. Appreciate
legend.
You.
He says Hurts, 15 of 20, 128 yards, 0 touchdowns, 7 rushes for 70 yards and a TD. Allen, 16 for 22, 127 yards, 0 TDs, 10 rushing for 30 yards and 2 TDs.
Mm-hmm.
So you see my face, right? Like, come on, son. And you got people like Alex Smith talking mad. Oh, no, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to be able to win. Shut up. You got traded by 2 teams because you couldn't cut it. Shut up.
So Darren says, Gail, that's because they want to see the same passion from Hurts as they give, and Hurts just isn't that guy. He doesn't show it the same way the fans want to see it. And that, again, I always go back to that time that was like a year ago before the season that we got an opportunity to be in the locker room with Jalen Hurts, and he spoke to like 25 of us fans, and he literally went back to the way that he was raised, the way that his love for the game, and he talked about, he's like, I am not a rah-rah guy. He didn't. It's not like he confessed anything that the team doesn't already know, but he just said that's not who I am. He said I am a servant leader, is what he said, and I think it speaks to I mean, you talk to his teammates. He leads in his way, and obviously, there's probably been moments where veterans have told him that we might need more from him in other ways, and I think he's developed that as well. But I don't think at the end of the day, he's not a leader of this football team. Again, oh God, is it? I mean, I don't like to make mention of the national media because they don't follow the team like we do.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. But shout out to all you guys in the comments. We appreciate you guys, man. It's always good to talk to y'all. It's always good to get the vibes after a big game like this. But it's just it's that time of the show where we say
say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest.
It sound like Tim got something he really want to go ahead.
I really do. Hey, NFL, come here. We gotta have a talk. We gotta have a talk, NFL. Hey, during the playoffs, I understand there's coaching vacancies, but I'm gonna need y'all to stop trying to intervene with these assistant coaches, coordinators, stuff like that. Wait until they get fired or their team loses. Stop doing that shit. That shit is irritating the hell out of me, bro. Because you got weasels like John Gannon that was just looking like Smithers from The Simpsons. And snicker and doodle and whatever. Oh, we're gonna win. And then he goes off to Arizona and does us dirty. Y'all got to stop that, bro. Y'all got to wait, man. Listen, your season's done. You don't need to. If you know who you got, go get him after his team, and he has to go sit on the couch. Stop trying to go after him in his mind. His mind should be on the game and game planning. Stop doing it. NFL, y'all got to come up with something better, bro. I'm tired of that. And yeah, happy Martin Luther King Day. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate it.
I like that one, Tim.
That was a good one. I definitely agree with you, man. They got to cut all that shit. Leave that shit for when, like you said, man, when the teams are done, eliminated, there's plenty of time. They don't got to scramble to go ahead and do all this shit now, to get ready for draft and all that. Nah. But my say with the chess, I got two small ones. But, we've been talking about this on the show, and it's just a constant talking. We're ending the show just still talking about it. But, man, like, y'all people out there, y'all really need to cut your shit out about Jalen. Like, listen, I know I said 2 weeks ago I had a concern about his rhythm. I said what I said. I mean, I have every right. Gail just pinpointed. We are ones that really follow this team. We're the ones that see this shit week in, week out. So if I have a concern, I'm going to go ahead and, speak on it. But I still feel like the man does his part. He does enough to go ahead and get us over the hump. And, shout out to him. I mean, like, Meanie just threw up those stats. Like, and I said this on Saturday when Mahomes was playing. The guy only had 177 yards in that game. He didn't do shit. And look, his team won because he did enough for his team. Yeah, the officiating and calling the roughing the passer and all that, it's really starting to get out of hand. That's for another day, another time. But still, like, all these people that be wanting these Tom Brady stats, 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns, this and that, or the Peyton Manning stats, or like the John Elway stats, like, stop. The man's doing his thing. He's doing his part, and he's getting us the W's. And then, when it comes to that time when we're hoisting that Super Bowl Lombardi trophy up in the air, then what? Y'all still gonna go ahead and complain? Some of y'all might actually still complain, because that's how y'all are. But I'm good with my quarterback, and and Jalen I trust. Now my second one. This is a tailgate. Say it with your chest. Tim Armstrong. I love you, my dude. But don't ever fucking come back to that tailgate with that pickleback shot that you just had me drink yesterday. That shit was horrible. But it definitely put me on the edge. That was the icing on the top. That's probably why I saw 3 Saquons.
Everybody's doing this too.
That is probably why I saw 3 Saquons. Whew. Yeah.
So that pickleback shot was, I was like, in honor of Andy Reid, I might try this pickle juice, but I was like, nasty work, as Tim would say, nasty work. But my say with your chest, it really, it speaks to just like believing. I mean, a lot of Eagle fans, your energy in that stadium is electric. We've been there. We see it every week. There's something it's when they get that game is like big plays or just like obviously the tension is there, and the energy, we need that energy. So you people in the stadium, you got the players feed into it, man. I mean, just like we feed into, like, I see Chauncey after a play, and the music in the stadium is hyping him up, and he's on the, just like, he's into it. So I need the fans need to be into it, like locked in, because this is playoffs, man. This ain't no regular season. So I feel like Eagle fans need to get their playoff minds right, and just like we were believing when they won the Super Bowl, we've been believing before the season even started. That's where this podcast has been. I think we've all felt that way. But last but not least, Brianna, she says she wants to say it with her chest. She says, if you come to someone else's tailgate, be respectful and not greedy. Y'all do a lot for us, and I hate when people act like entitled a-holes. Just behave and respect.
Oh, thank you, Brianna. I appreciate that. That's a real one right there. That's a real one right there.
AJ says, y'all hear Smitty complain about the snow? I love his country ass.
Let me get scolded. Yeah, you ever seen I'm gonna get you, sucker?
Yeah.
You ever see? Yo, when he talked, doesn't he remind you of Chris Rock, like the crackhead? How much for a straw? How much for a toothpick?
How much for a Scully cap?
Let's see. I saw Blue Meanie says thoughts on the Bears hiring Ben Johnson. Do it after the playoffs, okay? But I feel like you're gonna see Aaron Glenn might be gone from there too. You know,
I think he went to the Saints. But the Jets are, I guess, like the Jets are like trying to like get really involved there. We all know Kellen's gone, bro. We all know Kellen is going to go to the Cowboys, right? I think we're all there.
I don't know, man.
You don't think
know,
so?
bro. Nah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick with my prediction.
How much for Reed?
I see the Sanders package coming to Dallas.
They got to pay $10 million to get him out of that contract. Jerry ain't doing that.
I see the
Jerry
Sanders.
cheat, B.
Man, listen, man.
Hey, I'm going. I have a very good connection that could let me know.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I'm going to ask. I don't ever ask, but I'm going to say, hey, you got the intel. You need to tell me what's happening.
Yep.
Because my homie just moved to Dallas, and I'm like, why'd you move back to Dallas? Let's talk. But anyway, last word before we get out of here. Before we get out of here, just want to give a shout out to Bud Light, man. If you guys haven't been to the tailgate, you haven't been drinking up the suds, or you haven't been enjoying the performance by Lust out there, or the field goal kicking option at the tailgate, and shout out to Bud Light, man, because they've been really holding down the tailgate for all these years before anyone has held us down. It's been Bud Light, so shout out to Bud Light. Shout out to Cefeli's Pizza. Those cheesesteaks that you love to eat, Cefeli's Pizza has been providing Evan with those cheesesteaks. One of these days we're gonna get their pizza down there. That would be nice. Or we're just gonna go there and have some pizza. I need to have. Or maybe we'll get we'll get Portnoy to do a little pizza slice thing over there. Also, shout out to Casio Cooks, Casio_Cooks for the amazing ribs. Hopefully, he comes back. That would be amazing.
Did his thing yesterday.
Yeah. And also just an honorary shout out to Conshohocken Italian Bakery, just because. And also shout out to Crafty Jawn for the chains that we gave away. The chains were awesome. They were amazing. Tim Armstrong in his Jello shots. Dude made 100 Jello shots.
I think I had about 6 of those yesterday. So, yeah,
oh, you was wilding, huh?
I was wild.
Bro, Primo don't drink like that. That's why this is hilarious. I wish I was there. I was
having a good time.
Yeah, we gotta have a. You talk about spy on Jaden Daniels. We gotta have a spy on Prime in the next.
Man, that's all right. It's like shout out to E, man. E comes to the tailgate first thing, and I already had a couple in me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, yo, why does it seem like your head just got smaller? He got the big ass noggin balls hat, so I started calling him the green toad. I was like, the little toad on Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I was like, me.
Yeah, he was lit. He was definitely. Happy birthday to E, though. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, happy birthday to E. Man.
His birthday today?
Yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Damn.
Happy birthday, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Happy birthday. I gotta give him a shout out. God damn.
I texted him to eat. I know he's tired though.
Man, it's a tough scene. Mark says shout out to Evan. Hopefully his moving is going good, man. Moving on a Monday. Moving on Mondays.
Only Evan.
Yeah, that's the only Evan moving on that one.
Only Evan.
I would move on a Saturday. Saturday is probably the best move day.
Saturday is my only move day.
Yeah, facts.
But last word. Oh no! Also, shout out to Wheelhouse Cards for the amazing piece that they made. The Foster art. was the Foster art piece that we gave out. That was super dope.
Super dope.
Yeah, but shout out to them. And last word, last but not least.
Yeah, a big thank you to everybody that showed up yesterday, making yesterday an unforgettable day. Big shout out to the crew that held it down, Chris, Evan, us too. E1443. I want to make sure they don't get it confused with E-Rock because he's also E-Rock, but E-Rock 1443. Eric was there helping out with handing out the cheesesteaks, giving me the privilege to walk around and get a couple more drinks in me. Cassio's Cooks, appreciate y'all coming through and holding it down with the ribs. Tim, big contributor to the tailgate lately, man. Thank you for helping out. And Tim, you were there in spirit. We try to keep you posted. We try to keep you posted as much as we can on the live.
No, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, but it was a great time, and I can't wait to do it again this Sunday. You know what I mean? Less drinks in my system, but yeah, looking to wild out. And a big thank you and shout out to my ace, my wife, man. It was great enjoying that moment yesterday. Yeah, she's been feeling the energy a lot lately, man. And I could rough her around sometimes when she's next to me. So it was all right, y'all. Yeah, she's been the real one. But yeah, she enjoyed it, and I'm glad she's getting the moment. So we got two down, 2 to go, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, man, keep up the good faith, the vibes, the energy, everything, y'all. Everything, whatever y'all did the last 2 weeks, keep on doing it and continue on this week. Please.
Absolutely.
Don't change that shit up. So I've been going to a bar called the Deli Bar. Shout out to the Deli Bar. We, my boy Trey, Daniel, his pops, my wife, my little ones. We have our little ones as well. All of our kids together. We're all decked out in green. And shout out to the wives, man, because they've been taking care of the shots and making sure that we got them the drinks flowing. But shout out to the Deli Bar, and shout out to you guys, man. For y'all keep up doing what y'all doing. I know y'all take time out of your day, money out of the pockets as well. But I can speak for all the Eagle fans that come all the way to Philadelphia and have a great experience of tailgating with you guys at the 4th and Jawn tailgate. So shout out to everybody, man. And keep up the vibes. Go Birds. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Last word. Shout out to all the people that contribute, that just show up to tailgates, and whether it's Greenbeard for holding spots, whether it's Chris Lee for holding down the energy, pregame spots. You rely on people that not a lot of people might know all the other people that help out, like whether it was Liz a couple weeks ago holding a spot for us, just the most random people to help out. Shout out to Tim as well, Tim Armstrong, been a huge help, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to Amanda. She we make these tailgates, these lanyards, which a lot of people come up to us and say we collect those. Somebody's got a text from Nady, who is he cleared out his old truck. He has a whole bunch of the lanyards in there. It's a thing, man, and sometimes it takes a while to make these things. But shout out to Amanda, who held it down, helped me put these things together, man. While we're on the road, we're in the car doing our arts and craft project. But it's cool that people appreciate that stuff. But and again, to Eagle fans out there, we got one more game to go before a Super Bowl run. We are on a Super Bowl run, but we got one more game before the Super Bowl. I think energy's got to be high this week. You might see us on some pep rallies again. I don't know, on Friday. Fox 29 probably going to be calling us back. So
y'all gotta do
the energy has to be up. If we get opportunity to bring some people down to Fox 29, I will let you guys know. Make sure you stay in touch, because I might be needing some people to go to that pep rally. So if you want to bring the good vibes and the energy, let me know. Hit me in the DMs, and I'll make sure you get an invite to that. But anyway, it's on to the next one. And as always, it's fly, Eagles fly.
Go Birds.
This next tailgate is going to be a monster. Make sure you show up on time. All right?